Hi, I'm attorney Casey Walker. Today we're going to discuss general things you need to be prepared for when going into a CMP examination. So here we go. Number one, this is the most important one. I can't believe I have to say this, but be likable. Don't be a chotch. Don't go in there and with an attitude, frustrated with the examiner who you've never even met. Don't wake up on the wrong side of the bed and impute your frustrations onto the examiner. Don't assume they're racist. Don't assume they hate veterans. Don't assume that they want to screw you or hurt your case. Instead, go in there with a smile and be likable. They're humans, just like any other person on earth. The kinder you are to them, the more likely you are to get a favorable result. So try to be likable. I'm not saying you got to go in there smiling and bringing them candy, but just be generally likable. So that's number one, be likable. The second thing we see that you need to be prepared for is CMP exam gamesmanship. Well, what's that? A lot of times these examiners, let's say you filed for your back, you filed a claim for back and you write in a sworn statement or in a communication to the VA that you can't even bend over. Your back is profoundly disabling. You have to wear a back brace every day and you can't get into your car. You can't bend over to get the remote control when you drop it and you need to turn the TV off. So you're in the exam and the examiner standing next to you and oh, whoops, they dropped their pencil in front of you. And what do naturally like any human? You bend over to pick it up. Well, there goes all your credibility because you just spent, 3 to 4 communications trying to tell the VA and the examiner that you can't bend over. And instantaneously, you bent over in the examination. So that's what we mean by gamesmanship. A lot of these examiners have been doing this for a while, and they'll employ these types of tactics, games, tricks, whatever term you want to use, to see if you're being credible. And in all fairness, they want to give you a favorable result if they think it's warranted. They want to assess the true symptoms that you're having, not what you're telling them you're having. So just be aware though that these things do happen. Another common one is that a veteran will tell them, well, my knees are so bad I can't get in and out of seats, I can't get into my vehicle, and they might have you switch seats 2 or 3 times in the examination to see how you ambulate, to see how you get up out of your seat. These are common things that we see, and there's an endless list of potential things they could do like that. So when you go in, it's not a day to be a tough guy. It's a day to just let your true symptoms be manifested by how you present yourself. Number 3, you got to be credible. If you tell them you wear foot orthotics every day of the year because your foot is in dire pain, and on the day of the exam you don't have orthotics in your shoe, then that's a problem. If you tell them that you're a nuclear engineer and on the day of the mental health examination you can't remember who the current president's name is, there goes all your credibility. So like embellishing, don't embellish. It's okay to not be a tough guy. It's okay to wince and let them know about pain. It's okay to tell them about profound symptoms you might have, but don't embellish. You're not a nuclear engineer if you don't know who the current president's name is. That's just common sense. So another one that we see routinely is veterans will tell the examiner that they have to wear a brace every day, and they don't have it on during the day of the examination. Now, what you might be able to do is carry the brace in and say, I didn't know if I was supposed to wear the brace for the examination. That's what we advise veterans to do because the braces might make their symptoms look better than they actually are. But at a minimum, carry the orthotic or brace in and just tell the examiner, I wasn't sure if I was supposed to wear it. But don't show up empty-handed. Don't show up without it if you're telling them you need it. Another common one, if you're a veteran who has temporomandibular joint dysfunction, commonly referred to as TMJ, but probably more properly known as TMD, and you tell the dentist or the CMP examiner that you can't chew food, you have to drink your food through a straw, you're on a milkshake diet because your jaw hurts so bad, and you walk into the examination chewing bubblegum, don't do that. Don't chew bubblegum at your TMJ examination, because if you had jaw pain, you wouldn't be chewing bubblegum. The fourth consideration that you want to be aware of when going into a CMP examination is it's not a day to be a tough guy. I've already alluded to this. So what does that mean? If you're doing range of motion testing for elbow range of motion, for neck range of motion, for shoulder range of motion, whatever the joint is, if they're doing range of motion, and I can lift my arm all the way to here, but maybe here I'm starting to get pain. Don't go all the way up. Stop with the pain. There's no obligation for you to push through pain. That's what I mean by don't be a tough guy. And on that note of not being a tough guy and don't push through the pain, when you feel the initial pain, you should be wincing. You should be giving some type of verbal cue because they check a box that says pain, and pain alone is compensable at 10% if they service connect the joint. So maybe something like this, if you're moving your neck, ooh, yeah, ow, right there. That response of ooh, ow, right there, that's notifying the examiner that you are experiencing pain. So you're giving them that verbal and physical cue so that they check the box properly. So don't push through pain during range of motion testing, and also let the examiner know that you're having the pain with some type of verbal owie type of scenario. So don't be a tough guy. The last thing we advise our clients to do is if you have recent records that support your claim, symptom logs, treatment records, other examination reports, other medical opinions, buddy statements, lay statements, whatever it is. We always tell them print it up, print a copy of it, and hand carry it into the examiner and just give it to them because they're more likely to look at it if you physically say, here's recent evidence, I'm still struggling with this. That bolsters your claim. So don't hesitate to bring documentation in. Now, of course, you're going to mail that same documentation to the evidence intake center in the VA, but when you hand it to the examiner, it's more likely to be digested. The examiner has a requirement to review your file, but there's really no accountability on them doing that. But if you walk them right to the water and you say, here's the pertinent evidence, it's more likely to be reviewed. And in such a case, you're probably more likely to get a favorable report from that examiner. So I started with be likable. I'm going to end again with a reminder, be likable, be credible, don't be a tough guy, don't push through pain, and be prepared for any types of C&P gamesmanship. These are things that I would like to know if I were going into a C&P exam. We have thousands of clients who reported back to us over the years, and these things are common. And that's why we thought the need to provide a video instructing such would be helpful. So hope you found this video helpful. If you did, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.